Real quick, I'd like to take care of two separate features that the router has, and we'll lump them together in one lesson because I think this will be a pretty quick lesson. The two features we're going to have is one, how do we navigate using the router from within a class, and two, how do we handle redirects. Let's get straight to it. We're going to add a back button here, and we're going to do that from the class. So in our About User component above the Jumbotron, we'll add an A tag. Let's give it a class of button, button small, and button info. And we'll call this go back. Now, using router link, the directive that we talked about earlier, we could do router link is equal to about, and that would work. But let's do this from the controller since there could be a number of different scenarios where we would want to route from our controller. We'll handle click, and we'll use a function from our controller. We'll do go back, and then we'll go create that go back function inside of our controller. Sorry, our class. I'm thinking in Angular 1 world now. So let's create this go back button. The cool thing about the Angular router is since it uses the HTML5 push state history, which is the default browser history, we can do window.history.back. Let's go take a look at that button now. We'll press go back, and immediately we go back to the About page. That works out really well. What happens if we want to go to a specific URL, and maybe we're not sure that back is always going to lead to the /about page? We can grab the router. We have activated route from the router already. We can grab something called the router. And in our constructor, let's break this out a little bit. It's getting a little long for one line. We'll add a private router, and we'll bring in the router. Now instead of windows.history.back, we can do this.router.navigate. And just like we did for the router link, we'll pass in an array here. And the first parameter will be the string of where we want to go. So notice we can use this exact same thing inside of the router link directive. Let's give that a shot. Go back, and that goes there. And go back goes there. Let's make sure we are changing that route to see that it works correctly every time. We'll save. Go back over. Go back, and that goes to the contact page just like we wanted. Let's change this back to about. And that is exactly how we would route and navigate from the class. Let's handle redirects now. If we go into our app.routing, let's say we wanted to redirect this home page over to the About page. It's not really practical in our application, but sometimes you may want to redirect somebody to keep them away from a certain section of your site. We'll have the path. We won't want a component here, so we'll set redirect to, and this goes to the About page. And remember that when we did the router link active earlier, blank matched pretty much every route. This way we want to match it with path match is full. So this is only the first homepage route that has the /nothing. Let's give that a shot. Homepage goes to the About page. And just like that, the router helps us do redirects and routing from a class. So we've learned a lot so far. Let's do a recap and then start moving forward into more advanced routing techniques.